You are now tuned into the We Are Gunsmith podcast, the world's #1 podcast. Or at least they think so. Sit back, kick your feet up, and relax to the sweet, sweet sounds of James Mooney and Rob TRAMONTE, or as they're known internationally, Cash Mooney and Maserati. It's gonna be lit beyond comprehension.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the We Are Gunsmith podcast. It's your boy James Mooney.
It's Rob TRAMONTE.
Jeremy New.
And we're back. We missed you guys last week because it got hectic. It got crazy. We were up in Seattle for the Emerald Cup, and we couldn't get a podcast out, but we will try to avoid that in the future.
What really happened is we filmed a shitty podcast.
It was a shitty podcast. It wasn't our best, and we didn't want to put it up there and disappoint you guys. So we said, fuck it, we're going to skip this week.
Yeah, if you don't love it,
Adjusting
don't
it,
post
dude.
it. You owe me $1 every time you touch that knob.
I'm adjusting it because it keeps moving.
You've been adjusting it since
It
episode
moves.
3.
It always moves, though.
You've been touching
it
your
does.
knob for a while.
It moves. Don't let me touch the knob if I want to touch the fucking knob.
Which knob are you even touching though? The top or the
this
bottom
one, I'm
knob?
tightening
The
it.
top knob.
You've been tightening it for
It never stays tight.
2 months.
It never stays tight, man.
Sick, dude.
That's okay.
Anyway, if you guys are listening to this on iTunes, make sure you guys leave us a 5-star review. And if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment. Be awesome.
Yeah.
And
Let
tell a
someone
friend.
know. Let's go, man. Let someone know. You can't expect this thing to grow.
Make a friend.
Dude, I got bars, dude. See that shit?
Oh, let us know.
Let us
Anyways,
know.
we got Amanda Ruller
Grow.
on the podcast today. She's a professional football player in Canada. She's a bunch of stuff.
She's a fucking athlete. She's a superstar.
Yeah. She might be the most friendly person on Instagram as well.
We'll see.
I've
Yeah.
never, I've never talked to
She's
her
like
once.
fake.
She's like, fuck y'all. What up?
No. Yeah, we probably have to bleep this out for her family.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all good. That'd actually be kind of funny.
Did you see that video? You guys see that
That's a
video?
lot
of her?
of, that's a lot of editing right there. We're taking out all these swear words.
You guys see that video of her rope pulling the car?
Yeah. She's
That's
badass.
pretty
If
sick.
you guys,
She's all like yelling while she's doing. She's like, ugh, ugh. I'm like, damn, that's dope.
check her
That
out.
was sick as
Check her
fuck.
out on Instagram. It's Amanda Ruller, Ruller, and she's got some badass shit up there.
Check
Yeah.
out Jeremy New GC.
No, let's not. You got to start posting content that's not crap.
Last time I checked, my lat spread was not crap. Okay, pretty sure I'm the best lat spreader around here.
All right.
Please try and out lat spread me.
Welcome to the podcast. We appreciate having you on.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
For sure.
Do you want to give our listeners just a quick little background? We know that we introduced you. You're like right now you're playing in the LFL, and you're a kind of an all-around badass, bunch of athletic stuff. You want to give us a little brief history of who you are?
Of course. Well, I'm kind of a jack of all trades because I am an athlete and have been an athlete like my entire life. I went from college track and field to Canadian bobsled and skeleton. Then I started playing football in the LFL. I'm also on Team Canada for football, and I do Olympic lifting. So I've kind of got a lot of stuff going on. And then on the creative side of that, I actually do like the game day hosting for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, which just means I talk sports. I get in the middle of the field in front of like 33,000 people, introduce the game, kind of interview people at halftime, 50-50, stuff like that. So I kind of do it all. I do a personal training online. I'm like a brand sponsor. Like I go to different events and talk about different sponsors and products and stuff like that. So I do a lot, but keeps me pretty happy, and it doesn't feel like work at all. It just feels like every day is a new adventure.
You also won a car on The Price is Right.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
forgot
amazing.
to say.
Yeah. That's like a life
the most
changing
important
thing.
part. That's pretty sick,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yes, I don't know how many people you interview that have won a car on The Price is Right,
No.
but it's true. I won a car.
You still have it?
Actually, I'm Canadian, so they had to give me money for the value of the car.
Oh,
So I got $32,000.
Wow.
that's
Fair
sick.
trade.
There you go.
And I actually bought a car with the money because
There
I
you
didn't
go.
have a car. I didn't have a car.
Okay.
Was that filmed in Canada? Or were you
It
somewhere
wa-
else?
It was in Los Angeles because I went to Los Angeles to see The Price is Right, and I got free tickets to go. So lo and behold, they call my name up to go, and I get up there and I bid like $1 on an item, like just a straight up dollar. And I won because everybody else bid over, and I run up on stage, I start flexing, and I think Drew Carey was trying to ask me questions like, what's your name? And I just kept flexing. Like I kept looking at the camera, just straight up. He's like, all right, well, okay.
Hit him with a peek check.
A game. So.
Just total meathead status right there, just flexing.
Yeah, but later when the episode did air, it aired like 3 months later, the thumbnail for the episode on TV was just me flexing, and he tweeted a picture of me flexing and said, don't mess with this chick.
Oh.
So I was just like on cloud 9.
There you go.
I was so excited. So meathead status pays off.
There you go. That's awesome.
So have you been into football your whole life? Or like when did you actually start playing? Like was there leagues growing up, or what was that like in Canada, I guess?
Yeah, for sure. When I was in kind of like elementary school, kind of grade 7 and 8, they had girls touch football, and I got into it. I was so excited, and I kept getting in trouble because I was being way too aggressive. So they said, Amanda, you should play in a different league. So in high school, there wasn't too much football going on in Canada. And after that, I was like, there has to be something more for women in football, especially in my province and in Canada in general. And at the time, there just wasn't. And I remember seeing on TV, like the Legends Football League. And when I was in college, I ran track and field, and we wore like a sports bra and bum huggers. And so it was kind of like natural to me to wear kind of the sports bra, like that outfit when I was racing. So when I saw LFL on TV, I was just like, dude, these girls are badass, and they get to wear awesome uniforms to show their. Because to me, it was natural. I just felt like that was kind of the thing, because I already was racing in front of thousands of people in like next to nothing clothing. I was just like, oh, why not? Yeah. So I think about 5 years ago is when I started kind of training, and I went to I drove my car from Canada to Los Angeles by myself, and it took like 5 days, and I did an open tryout for the Legends League for the LA Temptations, and I ran the 40. I was like so fast, they made me actually run it again because they didn't believe me. They were like, no. I ran a 4.75 laser because they were doing lasers that day. They're like, there's something wrong, and they made me go again, and I ran the same time, and they were like, all right, what the hell? But they approached me after the tryout. They said, you know what, you're too short, like you're too small to play, because I'm 5 feet. And
5 feet.
I did not. Yeah,
tiny as hell.
Yeah.
You look taller on Instagram.
yeah, you look way taller.
That's what I like to hear, because I try to come off like I'm taller. It's an optical illusion.
Low angles.
Oh yeah, low.
It's that low. Whenever I get people to take a picture, it's kind of far away, so you guys think I'm like 5'4".
There you go.
Or 5'2". So they said, you know what, I don't think there's a spot for you to play. And I was just not taking that. I just said, when are your practices? And they're like, okay, here's our practices. And I had nowhere to live. I had no friends. I had no family in LA. And I started just showing up to the practices. And I finally got like a roster spot because I wouldn't say no. Like they said no. And I was like, no, I want to play. I love football. Yeah. I love this. Awesome. I love this game. There's nothing for me back home. I won't accept that no. So I kind of, one of those walk-ons where you got to believe in yourself more than anybody else in the entire world. That was kind of me 5 years ago. I was like, no, guys, I'm doing this. So I'm sure you guys can relate to that on some level with anything you've done. And
So are you still going strong with the LFL?
Yeah, for sure. They're starting up again this season. I'm concentrating on weightlifting because in like 3 weeks I have nationals, so I'm just focusing on that right now, and then possibly getting back into football because I have a good chance of medal contention for Olympic lifting. So just in Canada, doing a little training right now.
That's sick.
Damn.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because you seem, I don't know too much about Olympic lifting, but you seem hella good at it. I'm like, she must compete, or I don't know. So I was going to ask you like what level you're trying to do that or whatever. But
Of course. So right now, I'm kind of on my province team. So to you guys, it's kind of like your state team. So like you're California, like I'm on Team Saskatchewan. Like that's my province. And because I did well in my last couple meets, I made a really good, for us it's called like a Sinclair score. And I know for powerlifting it's Wilks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah, your overall like weight, what you weigh to how much you can lift. So I have a really good Sinclair score. So that kind of put me in on Team Saskatchewan for funding too. So I got a little extra money for training, which was like, just the world to me. And so I'm looking to be on Team Canada. Like that is my goal. I want to do that. So I got to show up and really at nationals in the next couple of weeks and lift what I've been lifting in practice. If I can do that, then I can hit a medal. I can be extension for maybe worlds coming up. So
that's crazy. That's awesome.
Is the end goal Olympics, or is that like,
well, yeah, it is. Well, like it totally is. Like it is. I don't want to say that out loud. I know some people are going to be like, what? She's not good enough. But I'm just going to keep training until the time comes. And maybe if I do qualify, I do it. If I don't, like the journey will still be successful because I've made it so far. But, I've always been that type of person that strives for greatness. And I've tried to strive for the Olympics quite a few times for bobsled and skeleton, track and field. I was even doing like Olympic trials. So that's always been the goal in my life.
Yeah, you got pretty close for the skeleton, didn't you? It was. Yeah, just trying to, make it happen. Like I'm just trying so hard in my life to do great things. And sometimes you just kind of like take a step back and realize, because sometimes, I don't know, as an athlete and myself, you just think you're not doing enough or you're not good enough. And then when you talk to people, they kind of put it in perspective. They're like, wow, like you're amazing. You're an amazing athlete. You train so hard. And I'm like, I am, because I get down on myself quite a bit. I get down on myself.
I think everybody goes through that.
You're always your worst critic. So
100%. So it keeps you humble. Like a lot of people say, oh, are you not confident? But I'm just saying, I like to say, are you sure I'm just not super humble? Like, because I believe in myself, but I don't think I'm the best. That makes sense.
and you don't want to like go through that regret of not ever, or always like wondering what would have happened if you tried to do something. You know what I mean? So the fact that you just go do it, and even if you do fail, it's like, well, at least I know, or you might make the Olympics and kill it,
It's the regret. I just hope I go through life and I'm not sitting there when I'm 80 and I'm like, man, I wish I would have done this or that, or went back to school, or that's something I'm struggling with right now. Is I went to school, I got a degree in kinesiology, and I really want to do sports broadcasting as a profession for like TSN. Like that would be my ultimate goal. But I'm doing a little bit now, but on a smaller scale. And a lot of people have been telling me you should go back to school. And I love that. I want to go to journalism. I want to learn more. But there's some other people that just say, oh, you could just learn it online and push for that. But I love the pursuit of knowledge. And that's just me and who I am. So trying to figure it out.
That's crazy. How'd you get hooked up with the Rough Riders, like doing the game day stuff? How did that come about?
Oh, definitely. Actually, I just pursued stuff like that on my own. Whenever I saw an opportunity online that they were hiring, and I honestly sent in a video.
No previous experience or whatever, really?
No, but I think like where I live right now, I do a lot of stuff like that for different companies. Like I go out and speak for them, or I do a lot of like live stuff online and social media, and I think people see me from that, and I kind of built up a good reputation in Saskatchewan and in the place that I live, that I'm outgoing, I'm kind of genuine in that nature, and I think people are always looking for someone to represent their brand with someone that's just genuine and like good, not even to like look at. Like I think I'm pretty good looking.
It doesn't hurt.
I'm okay to look at, but I think I have a kind of personality that you can kind of relate with. Like, I think people really love that. And because I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not. I'm never trying to be fake, because I just think that sucks. You can, especially social media, you can smell bullshit on people if they come across as somebody they're trying not to be. Because I'm passionate about sports and being athletic and physically fit. I'm not trying to be the skinniest girl on the block, and people can see that. Like when I say I'm eating 300 grams of carbs per day, people are like, "What? Why?" And I'm like, because I'm trying to be athletically, I'm trying to perform great. I'm not trying to look like a model.
Right.
I'm trying to perform. So I think people can really see that, the genuine side of me, and that I'm passionate about that. So
that's the most important part, the relatability and the just being
that's how you build a connection with people, you know.
100%.
Yeah, I was telling these guys before you came on, I was saying, like, I think Amanda might be the nicest person on Instagram. Like, when I see your stuff, I'm like, she's so like, I don't even know her, but she's like, seems like the most friendly person ever. So it's, I don't know, it's great to finally talk to you, I guess.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm like awkwardly outgoing, probably like Michael Scott on The Office, because I will approach anybody. I will approach anyone and just start up a conversation. Probably not as awkward as him, but I will talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime. Maybe if I'm in line at the supermarket, I'll just be like, "Oh, how's your day?" It's maybe it's because I'm Canadian. Is that what that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
The Canadian part of you is just overly friendly.
Yeah.
I guess Danny was pretty friendly too.
Yeah.
He's kind of like that. Huh. Maybe it is a Canadian thing.
Canadian thing, maybe.
Yeah, that's interesting.
When I was living in America, I'm overly outgoing, and people thought it was really weird, especially when I was living in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah,
I would just say hi to people, and they
Jeez, man.
I don't know if you experienced that, but I was kind of the different oddball out, because I was being nice to everybody and outgoing, and
well, it's just different, you know, cultures. Like in LA, everybody's fast paced, and you know they don't have time. But then it's kind of like that in Oregon. Like when I first moved up here from California, like you're walking down the street and somebody will just say hi to you like out of the blue, and it's like, I'm not used to that.
I know, or like holding the door for you, or saying thanks, or
it's like a foreign concept.
Imagine that, saying thank you. That's crazy. So, did you ever shy away from public speaking or being in the, you know, the spotlight or anything like that? Because right nowadays it seems like you enjoy that, obviously, with your profession and what you do and everything. Were you ever like not like that?
I'm gonna be honest, I was never not like that. Like when I was younger, even when I was in high school, I asked like one of the teachers if I could just go up and talk to the class, like, and tell stories. I don't know why. I just wanted to go and speak to everybody and be the center of attention, not for like a bad thing. Like I was never being like, everyone feel bad for me or feel happy for me. I just wanted to go entertain, if that makes sense to you guys. I love entertaining people. I love being funny, humorous, telling stories about my day. I love public speaking. I was like SRC president at my school, so I would write all these pep rallies and we'd get up and perform them, and I didn't want them to always be about me because I was the president of the school. I wanted to include the whole school, so I made scripts where everybody had a chance to come up and like do a part, no matter what grade you were in. I was always like fighting for the little guy, because I am the little guy. I'm like 5. So I would like be friends with the grade 9s when I was in grade 12, and I was just always wanted to be in the spotlight. And so whenever I saw an opportunity, I took it. And it kind of bothers me when other people, like if there's a chance to have a spotlight opportunity in my town here and they hire somebody else, it like bothers me, because I'm like, oh man, that could have been me. Hire me. Like so I'm trying to do as much as I can and put myself out there, because like I actually really love it. And maybe in high school, like I was a little I'm better at it now than I was in high school. There's probably, you know, you're still trying to be cool in high school and find yourself. So there's probably some moments like I was a little more reserved, but now I'm so out there. Like I don't care. I'm 30. I don't care anymore. I'll tell you everything.
So you were doing bobsledding. Back to that. Was that, or how big was your team? Was it like, because some bobsleds have 4 and then there's other ones with 2, right?
Yeah. For women, it is just only ever 2, because have most people don't know that.
I didn't know that.
So
I didn't know
for
that.
for women, there's no 4-man bobsled, so it's just 2. And my position specifically was brakeman, so I'd be in the back, and then my pilot would
Oh.
drive this. So to get that set up, my pilot would be a little bit in front of me to the side, holding like the arm bar, and I would be in the back holding the sled. And she would say, "Back, set, up," and I would literally clean the sled in front of me and push it out just a little bit. And she would jump in first, and I would run the sled for about like 25 meters, maybe a little less, and jump in, and the arm bar would come in, and then we would go.
Wow. How did you get into that? Because that's kind of like a oddball sport. Like, I don't know, people don't necessarily grow up like, I'm gonna be a bobsledder.
Well, you
Like,
can't just go outside. and
Yeah, you
bobsled.
can't just practice that just
It's not like
every
basketball.
day.
That's so true. It's kind of interesting because I got recruited out of university. They for bobsled, they love recruiting people that have been in track and field because they need people with speed, and they need football players because they have, the speed, they have the size. So they recruit track and field and bobsled, or track and field and football athletes for bobsled. So I was the track and field girl. I was always fast. I had a fast 40. So I got recruited right out of university. So they approached me. They asked me to come to one of their testing camps, which included kind of a 40. There was a clean and a back squat, and there was like a max ball, med ball heave type of stuff. And vertical jump. So I've been tested every which way for years and years. I've done so many testing camps. It's unreal. So.
Wow. Did you really enjoy the bobsled? That seems like fun, honestly.
Yeah, it's quite fun because it's a sport not a lot of people know or understand. I didn't really understand it myself to begin with, but once you go there, they teach you everything. They break it down, like what you need to do, and it's quite unique because you need to, before you even slide, you need to do a track walk. So you need to walk the track and learn every single one of the corners, especially as a pilot, because every corner you're going to enter it A, B, or C. So you're going to enter it differently depending on kind of the pressures that you feel and oscillations in each corner. So it's physics at its finest.
My head's about to explode.
Yeah, so you do mass times acceleration. So you have it's a little bit of physics. You have your sled, which usually the sleds are like around 200 and something kg. So you have a 400 lb sled with like a couple girls in it, so like 500. So you want to get that mass moving as fast as you can at the top of the hill down the ice track as fast as you kind of can. So who has the best lines going down the track and can make it there faster? And it's based off of 2 runs specifically. So it's very unique, that's for sure. And it's not hard to learn, but it's hard to master, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Were there any bobsledders you looked up to?
Definitely. Kaylee Humphreys, she was an Olympic gold medalist for Team Canada for so long. She was on the World Cup circuit, or still is, I think, unless she retired. But she was one of those athletes that really knew what she was doing, came in headstrong, and she killed it in the game, especially as a female Olympian, rather, in that sport. It's somebody to look up to and aspire to, because she was teaching you what to do and I was taking notes.
You have family members that are as athletic as you are?
I don't, which is really funny.
No one?
It's just me.
She took it
so
all. She took
seriously.
all the athleticism.
When I was born, I absorbed everybody's athletic powers and I spun it into my own thing. My brother plays like a little soccer, like here and there. So he's cool, but like sometimes I tell him, because he's 2 years younger than me, I'm like, John, you could be as muscular as me if you just tried. And he just like goes, no, like that's just not his thing. Yeah. He's a software engineer, so he builds and develops apps. So he's not into lifting as much as I am, and I wish he was, because it would just be so cool, like a brother-sister connection. But
for sure,
he does not want to. And my mom like told him at one point in our lives, he's like, Amanda's gonna be the athletic superstar, and he's like, I know. And he's been supporting me since the day one, and we're best friends. I go to his soccer games, and he comes and sees me race and do whatever that I do. He comes to football games to watch me announce, and yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool to have that support system in there.
Yeah. Family is everything, you guys. Family is number one in my life, that's for sure.
Shit.
So you recently played football for Canada, right? It's completely
Yes.
different than the LFL. It's full pads, everything like that. Do you think full padded football for women will ever go mainstream?
This is a really good question. We'll be able to go mainstream.
Thank you.
Now, that is tough because it's hard to say because I don't think it will become mainstream because things just like other sports like WNBA, like they are not mainstream as well. Like when I think mainstream, I think like NFL.
Yeah.
Like that's like the number one mainstream thing that I think. And when I think of like bodybuilding even, like it's such a huge sport and people support it, but I don't think it's mainstream enough.
No,
Like
definitely
I just don't think there's enough interest to make it as big as it could be. And even though I am a woman and I support 100% women playing football in full pads, I don't even think the LFL is going to be mainstream, just to be honest, just because there's still you put them in kind of the smaller uniforms. I just still don't think there's enough interest in it as a whole. I really hope that I'm wrong. I just hope that it changes soon, but I don't think it's going to be happening in the next few years. That's for sure. So I just hope that changes. And I can only do as much as I can by participating in these sports and promoting them as much as I can, and all the other girls promoting it. But that's a good question. What do you guys even think of that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I just know. I think it's so. I don't know. No one ever talks about it. Like there's no discussion out there right now.
There's no discussion.
Other than this one right here. That's pretty much it. But yeah, I don't know. It's not really in the U.S. I don't think there actually is a league where any girls are in full pads.
I think there's some semi-pro leagues.
Yeah.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
There is now, and it's gaining a lot of momentum, which is really cool because I get to see that more when I was doing Team Canada football. We played against Team USA, and I got to talk to them a lot. And every single one of them were on a team back home in the States. Like their state has a team. It's very few and far between which states have teams, but some do, and they're killing it. Like, but it's just not talked about. People do not care right now. I care, but that's only one person in the world. Like, it's hard because it just doesn't get talked about, and men just don't want to watch it. It's men on the internet. they want to slam women playing football. They do, and I see it because I am a woman playing football in both sports, like LFL and full padded football. I get a lot of, you shouldn't be playing football. This is a man's sport, and I just don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Like, I don't think, like, you guys know it for a fact, like, it's just hard for equality to happen, let alone women, like, in a sport equality. So it's just, I don't think that's going to change.
There's always going to be, like, a stigma.
There's always going to be a stigma, and I can only do as much as I can and be a strong athletic woman and just block out the hate, which I do, because this is maybe, like, the first time me talking about it, because I don't want to bring attention to their hate, because, like, who cares at the end of the day? I'm still going to do what I do.
Yeah, it's not going to affect whether or not the LFL plays a game or not.
No, which is funny because mostly like the people that get mad at me are the people that I click on their profiles and they can't play football, or like they're extremely overweight.
That's usually how it is.
Or they were a superstar in high school and they just never got to go past that.
Freshman
So
quarterback.
y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I play with some guys like that.
Still talking about their high school days.
Still talking about the high school days, but never quite got on.
Some of those LFL girls are so, I mean, other than you, are like extremely athletic. Like once you get past the uniforms and stuff, if you really pay attention to their like talent and agility and stuff, it's or some of the hits, dudes.
Yeah, there were some. We just were at this expo actually in Seattle, and there were a couple of the Seattle Mist players that were there, and they were stacked. They were
monsters.
I'd get scared to get hit by a couple of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're like, you guys better watch out for Amanda Ruller.
Yeah.
She's gonna break her ankles.
Hey, we were talking shit for you.
And they're like, we already know she's gonna break her ankles. Yeah.
Yeah, their team is very good. They won the Legends Cup last year, so
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Their team.
Damn. Yeah, Danica, whatever. Isn't she super good? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. She actually is a coach now, which
Oh.
is very cool because she just transitioned to the head coach of the Nashville Knights,
Oh, okay.
which came kind of full circle, which is very cool because we didn't have any female coaches in the league at all. And she just retired. She just had a baby. So she became a coach.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Huh.
head coach.
Interesting.
Look out, world.
So are there more female coaches now, or is it mostly still just men?
Just her. She's the first one. She's
Wow.
the first one, but she is breaking those stigmas that only men can talk about football or understand football, which is very funny because the coaches I have had in football, I've had a couple good ones, but the rest do not know how to coach women. And I don't say that because we need different styles. As a whole, like different people require different coaching.
Yeah.
I got a lot of coaches that just did the yelling. Like, I'm gonna yell at everybody,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna treat you like you're in high school because you need to be drilled into the ground. As somebody that has a background, myself, has a background in different sports and different coaches, and a background like I have my CSCS. I know how to train athletes. I know what goes into it. Their training style was so bad. Like,
Interesting.
I would just be yelled at like daily, like told like I was a piece of shit or something. And I'm just like, dude, like, you do not know how to train women.
Yeah.
It
Or
was just
humans.
alarming to me. So
Yeah.
all these men coming in trying to think like they know everything because they played high school or something.
Mhm.
It's just like, it's just not the case anymore. It's just not the case. Women can come in. We can coach just as good as you, maybe sometimes better. So
Yeah, I've always preferred coaches that just talk to me like a normal
person.
human. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah.
know. The whole screaming thing never got me fired up or anything.
no.
I was like, okay, you just tell me what I did wrong and tell me what to do right. And like, end the story. You don't have to. You know what I mean? So
Would you ever want to get into the coaching aspect of it?
Of course. I do a little coaching kind of for track and field, for speed for some athletes here in my province, but I would love to do football coaching. And if I could do it for women, that would be even more special to me.
Yeah.
I do sprints training for a few football players, but not the football right now. And I do a little like hockey off-season sprints training. I think like sprints training has been a huge thing in my life, so that's something I can truly pass on to people and feel great about because I feel like my level is kind of more expertise in that area. Football coaching, I would love to get into. I would honestly, coaching anyone, I would love it.
Maybe be the second LFL coach right here.
Yeah. maybe NFL, like strength and conditioning specialist. We'll see.
That'd be cool.
That'd be
Keep-
awesome.
That'd be super
Boundaries. Keep pushing.
Yeah, that would be a big barrier
That'd be
to knock
sick.
down right there.
Yeah.
To be the
I
strength
keep
and conditioning
applying
coach.
for internships and stuff. There's a few. I had one interview, and when they found out like I was a woman, they just were like, ugh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like, we don't take on women. I was like, oh, okay, all right, that's fine.
Damn.
Wow. They
I'm gonna
really
apply.
That's crazy.
I'll apply for another team.
This was like somewhat recently?
A couple years back when I was living in the States, I applied.
Wow. That's crazy.
Fine. So one of these days they can't say no. I'm going to get an internship on an NFL team. You guys will see.
That'd be badass.
care to take
Get us,
say
get us tickets.
care to say what team it was?
To save face, I will not.
Okay.
Probably
It was
good
the
move.
Rams.
knows?
Oh, you might have been right.
I don't know, maybe.
Do you think
The Raiders.
there will ever be a female in the NFL? Like playing in the NFL?
That's a really, really solid question. And to my response, I would say no, only based on the fact that I don't think women could handle getting, because we're not as big as the men. I think that when you have a 345-pound athlete coming at you and crushing you or blowing you up, I don't think that we are as big or to come back.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, I just think it's a liability issue. Like, I just think that even concussions, like just getting hit by a player of that size, and there will be a player of that size. Like, for example, if you put a woman in, just because we're just not as big as these men, I'm not even going to tell you as fast, because there's some O linemen that I can out sprint. But
For sure.
yeah, for sure. But I'm not as big as them. So if I take a hit, especially to my head, this 345-pound guy, I'm not going to bounce back. Yeah. I might be out for the full season. So why would you take on somebody like that? If you know what, if there is a woman out there that comes in and she can prove like she can take these hits and still stand the test of time, you know what? Do it. Like, good for you. I just don't know if that can be physically possible at this level.
Yeah.
High school level, yes. Yes, you can have women girls coming in at high school level being any position they want, and I've seen it, and it's awesome. But I just think once you get to the bigger stage, I just don't, stacking up size, it just doesn't work. And I wish I could say that's not true, but I'm just trying to think on a physiological level.
Yeah.
You're just a realist.
Probably not naturally, at least. Maybe.
Honestly, so
maybe special teams.
Special teams,
like kicking field goals or something. I don't know. They don't get. I mean, some of those guys are tiny.
Yeah.
They don't get hit or anything, and they play in the league for like 40 years. So
yeah, that's a dream job right there. Kick that, dude. You get a 20-year career.
Exactly. Maybe I could just be back like special teams, like backup special teams. Maybe on like a CFL team, huh?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
There you go.
CFL team.
With Johnny Manziel. He's playing there. I don't know where he's playing now, but.
Did you guys watch the draft?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
What did you guys think of Baker Mayfield getting drafted as the number 1 pick?
I like Baker. I approve.
He's cool, but he's gonna blow it, dude.
I don't know about that. I like his competitiveness.
Yeah, he's kind of got that winner quality. He's got that chip on his shoulder as a walk-on. So he's got that Johnny Manziel like swagger to him.
Oh yeah, he looks identical to him. He also has a video getting tackled by like 8 cops. So that's he's a franchise quarterback right there.
It took 8 of them though. He can evade a rush.
That's a great way to look at it, dude. In that case, great pick.
Yeah. Who's your team if you watch NFL?
My team is the Chicago Bears, and when I first started watching football a long time ago, I kind of fell in love with the '85 Bears.
Oh, there you go.
And from there, I kind of, been watching them and keeping up with them. I really didn't like Jay Cutler.
No,
I don't think anybody really liked Jay Cutler.
I don't think anyone liked him. So
dude, the Bears didn't even like Jay Cutler.
I know some pretty diehard Bear fans who don't even like Jay Cutler.
They got rid of their coach too, so they have Matt Nagy coming in. He was the Kansas City Chiefs coordinator, so we'll see what he can do with them. I think they had some good picks coming in. Yeah. They had that center James Daniels, which is a good zone center from Iowa, and they had that wide receiver Anthony Miller, quick, fast guy. I'm really excited for him. And then in the first they had that linebacker Raquan Smith, which I was excited. Yeah. I was excited they drafted him because before him even being drafted, I was like, whatever team he goes to, I feel like he's going to be one of the rookie of the year, honestly.
Yeah. I keep thinking that too.
He's a beast.
He's such a good dude too. If you watch him on like social media and stuff, he's like, I don't know, no issues or anything. Like the opposite of Baker Mayfield. So
stop hating on Baker.
No, he's tight. He'll be cool to play in Madden. That's about it though.
I like it. Yeah, that's my team this year, and I think that with these weapons, they got a couple good players. I think that they could stir it up this year. So let's go Bears.
Could be the year to turn it around. Funny. We'll see though.
Yeah. What did you guys think of Shaquem Griffin being drafted?
That was cool. Yeah, I think he deserved it. I mean, if you just watch the tape, it's like he kills it on the football field.
Yeah, there's
you
no
know.
reason.
Yeah, he's
Like-
got amazing closing speed.
Yeah, he's fast as he ran a 4.38.
4.38,
Ridiculous.
20 on the bench. He's like 6 feet, 227. Great guy.
Yeah. Well, wait, now he's playing with his brother.
Yeah,
Seattle. That's
Will,
awesome.
right
Yeah.
corner.
That's awesome.
I know. It's
I'm
crazy.
excited.
I think he'll do really well, and I don't know. That's just cool to see that happen. That's so inspiring too to other people who may have some kind of deformity or something that may not think they can do anything. It's like you see that and you're like, well, he's at the very top.
Some of those clips
Let's
of him,
go.
that he got like a pick or whatever, one hand. I'm like,
Yeah, dude.
dude, I can barely catch with two hands, man. He's out here with one hand snagging balls out there.
Seriously. So do you play both ways in the LFL?
No, I only play running back in the LFL, and then when I play for Team Canada, my skill set was better used as a corner.
Okay.
Dude, I always thought corner was the hardest
Yeah, fuck that.
position.
Fuck
It
playing
seems
corner.
well, maybe because I have no hips. But
It
I don't
is
know.
so much fun.
if I was 5 feet tall, maybe it'd be a lot easier. Not
Well,
sure.
actually, they were concerned because I was short to play corner because I couldn't. But I have a wicked vertical, so
What's
I
your
think when I was in practice, and I'm fast, so I can switch my hips super quick. So I think that makes up for my height.
What's your vertical?
I think like 34 inches.
Damn.
That's hella big.
It's so weird. Just because I'm explosive and because I do all those snatches and cleans, like
Yeah.
it's made it go up crazy. So
Did you always lift like that, or did you ever have like a typical like?
Like a bodybuilding split
Yeah.
kind of thing. Or has it always been sports performance?
yeah, for sure. When I was in high school, I think I started lifting with the guys because I wanted to get better at sports and I didn't know what I was doing. So it was a total bro sesh. I was doing bench press and bicep curls. And I was getting into a little bit of the bodybuilding stuff. And once I hit university, my coach was like, no more hypertrophy for you. Like, because I was kind of getting into that habit, like not even knowing what I was doing. Like, you just get into 3 sets of 10 in high school because you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Right.
And then I didn't have too much direction from my coaches, like, because I was doing basketball and track and field. So they were just doing that. Training was just for that specific. And when I got into university, they introduced me to cleans and snatches and jerks and a lot of deadlift and squat. So I only did sports performance for probably the last, I would say 8-9 years. I've only been doing sports performance, and I would throw in kind of a hypertrophy day, like maybe once a week. I do accessory lifts, but that's like once a week, like not even so. And it's not hypertrophy. It's kind of like sets of 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it seems like, I don't know, I enjoy training like that too, as opposed to, it gets kind of boring doing like the same, like kind of like bodybuilder type splits of, I don't know. Hypertrophy is kind of boring, honestly. At least in my opinion.
Honestly, yeah.
You gotta
I
change
had
it up.
to, I tore my meniscus 2.5 years ago. So for rehab after that, I had to do the hypertrophy stuff, just to strengthening hypertrophy. And that was so boring. I hated it so much.
What are some of your PRs right now?
So for my snatch, it's 72 kg, so it's kind of 160 pounds. And for clean and jerk, 90 kg, which is 200 pounds. And I'm competing 53 kg. So that's like 116 pounds.
Oh wow,
Damn.
strong.
Yeah, I weighed 116 pounds in
But
third grade.
I weighed 116 pounds when I was born.
Wow.
That's not even a joke. I'm dead serious. I was like 122
Amazing.
pounds in third grade. Yeah.
But when I did bobsled, I was like 130. So I've lost some weight, a little weight, but
Was that intentional? Did they like try to bulk you up a little bit for bobsled?
yeah, for bobsled, like I was actually, because we were sprinting so much, and when I mentioned mass times acceleration, you had to have a heavier sled to go faster. And if your sled didn't make weight, they had to put weights in your sled. And for me, like when I first came in, I was like 120, and they're like, you need to gain weight. So I ate like Wendy's all the time. That to this day, I cannot eat Wendy's because it sickens me. because I ate Wendy's every day to gain weight. I know that sounds so crazy, but I did.
It's a good problem to have.
You had to be a thick chick.
Wow. Huh.
What's your current diet like now?
Right now, okay. So I eat a lot of carbohydrates, and this is probably sounds so crazy to everybody, but I eat almost like 300 plus grams of carbohydrates every day. But that works for my body. But when I say carbohydrates, I eat tons of healthy, I eat like lots of potatoes, hash browns. I eat meats. I'm a meat eater. Sorry, the vegetarians listening. I'm a meat eater. I love steak, beef. Sometimes I'll just make up ground beef and just eat that plain. I don't like sauces, so I'll eat like salads and veggies just plain, just super plain. Wow. I love stir fry. Like I love just cooking up some veggies, putting some chicken in there, and I love eating that. So my diet is very much like I have kind of macros. Like I say I'll eat about 120 grams of protein, almost 320 carbohydrates, and about 70 fat. But I base it off feel. So as an athlete, especially I've been doing it for so long, I know how my body feels. And if I ever feel CNS depletion, I have more fats and carbs. I add more fats and carbs. And if I feel like really awesome, sometimes I'll just up protein. So I base it off feel, and it's been working for me really, really well. And I think that everyone needs to kind of play around with their diet. I think that if you're not happy, try stuff out. And I think that's the only way you're going to find what works for you, because you cannot take my diet and do it for you, because it is not going to work. Mine is very custom to me, and I would never suggest it for anybody else. So, yeah.
Yeah, it seems sort of like nowadays there's kind of more of that push towards like the intuitive eating, like not necessarily like tracking everything, but just kind of going off of feel. It seems like that's kind of like the push now. Like for a while it was the if it fits your macros, and now it seems like it's going more towards like just how your body feels kind of thing.
I love that. And it's it really works. And I just think people don't explore that enough. They just say, oh, I have to eat these macros. I have to. And if I don't, I'm going to explode or die or something. And that's just not the truth. Or I'm going to get fat. That's not the truth. Figure out what works for you and make it work.
Do you do anything special with your diet, like around like training? Like, are you like stacking your carbs more around your training, or are you kind of just eating carbs throughout the entire day?
Definitely. I'm really glad that you asked that, because that is so key, is timing. Because with my carbohydrate consumption, I eat a lot more. I time it. In the morning I have more proteins and good fats, and an hour before my training, because I usually do mid-morning, so like around like 11:30 I start to train, I have hash browns, or I eat like a potato or a sweet potato. I have a lot of carbs before the training and post training, so I can recover faster. So just trying to get that in my system, feeling better, recover faster, trying to avoid CNS exhaustion, anything to that matter. And then I also take take creatine hydrochloride before and post training. I've played around with that for many years, and I found that creatine really helps through training. I don't even cycle it anymore. Because when I first was introduced to creatine, I cycled it in university, and then I read a lot of studies that you don't need to cycle it, so I don't cycle it. So, and then before bed, just some good fats just to get in your system, so I'm not super hungry when I wake up.
Right on. Wow.
Like an avocado, I'll have like a half of an avocado, and I know that sounds super gross, but
I love
just by
avocados.
Dude, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I used to just eat whole avocados. Just like buy them from the store and
Nice.
like cut them open and just put some salt on them. Go to town.
That's crazy to me.
That's weird. That
Yeah,
it's
it's
that's crazy to me. That's crazy to
I don't
me.
know. I feel like I need some chips or something. I can't just do it by itself.
Right, yeah, I know.
I don't know, dude.
I can't do it anywhere.
I can do it everywhere. I love avocados.
That's awesome.
Yep.
All right, different subject. What is the thing you're most proud of?
most proud of
Yeah,
in my
because you've
entire
accomplished,
life.
you've done a lot of stuff. You know, you've accomplished a lot of things. I don't know, like, what's the one thing that you love telling people about yourself? How about that?
Well, okay. Well, honestly, that I want a car on The Price is Right. Like, I'm so proud. Honestly, like, that's something that not a lot of people have done or experienced in their life. And I tried to Google it, and it's like 1 in like 100,000 people have won a car, and
Wow.
which is
That's dope.
which is just I'm one of those people, and I'm not that I'm lucky. It's just maybe it was my time. I'm also very proud about my 40. Like, you don't see a lot of girls running like a 4.75 40,
No.
and I actually tell that to people when I first meet them. I'm like, "Hi, I'm Amanda," and then when we get to start to talking, and then they say, "Tell me something about you." Those are the two things I say. Well, I won a car on The Price is Right, and I run a 4.75 40, and they're like,
That's
"Who
so
are
tight.
That's
That's
awesome.
sick.
Hell yeah.
it's just like it's just the funniest thing, and I hold on to those two things about me so very dear. I
Is
think
that
I'm most.
is that your go-to pickup line at a bar?
I run a faster 40 than you.
You know what? When I was going to the bar and like telling people, like, when they say, "Oh, what do you do?" and I'm like, "Oh, I play football." I'm like, "I used to play in my day. I have like a 4.3 40." I'm like, "Are you Chris Johnson?"
Yeah.
I was like, "You're not. Get out of my face," because they didn't realize that I knew 40 times.
Right.
Like, they did not know
Yeah.
that I actually knew anything about football. So they're trying to quote me these times, and I'm trying to say, like, look, I looked them up and down. I'm like, no, you didn't.
That's funny.
So
Damn.
it was,
Damn, son. Wrong.
Cold-blooded.
Wrong, you did not.
you are wrong.
That's
You
funny.
are wrong. So that's my biggest pet peeve is, like, do not try to come to me and tell me a fake 40 time, because I will call you out, because I know more draft 40 times than you think.
That's the worst. That's like my biggest pet peeve. Like, when I used to work at like a commercial gym, and I had a client, and he came up to me. He's like, "Yeah, I ran a 4.4 back in high school and college." And I was like, "No, you didn't, dude. There's no way." Like,
You're like,
the
I've
amount
been
of people
trained.
that say they ran a 4.4 in high school, we should have so many more like legit.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Everybody gets hurt. Yeah, it's like, dude, I can tell. I'm looking at your shoes. You did not run a 4.40. Get out of here. Obviously.
So true.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm just proud of my life in general. I just think that I've done so many things that I'm happy about, and I never gave into what people wanted me to do. I never gave into the 9 to 5 drive. I never gave into getting married too early. Like, that's good for some people. For me, it was not the path. It wasn't the goal, and I just was striving for greatness. And I'm really proud that I did this, and that I had a support system with my family, and they were there for me. So every day I'm just very happy for that, because you just never know what could happen. I just keep doing what you're doing, and I'm just happy to be here and honored to be speaking with like-minded people such as yourself, and discussing issues and bringing up things that actually really matter in this life, instead of talking about nonsense. Like, we're talking about like football players and women and strong athletes, and I think that's very special.
Wow.
Damn.
Well,
That's
thank
deep.
you.
That's some deep shit right there.
Are you guys crying?
Yeah, tears.
Low key. Yeah.
I need a second.
Okay.
Quickly though, let's. I was looking on your Instagram, and I saw a pic of you trying out for the WWE.
Whoa.
What happened with that?
Okay, this is a really good story. So the WWE contacted me,
Hey.
and they wanted me to come try out, which is such a huge honor. I didn't do wrestling in high school or anything, and but they kind of saw some of my announcing skills and how good I am on the mic and kind of my personality, and I kind of got drafted from that. So I was invited to the Orlando Training Center, which was so cool. So I got to go, and they do 2 times a year. They do kind of like a training camp where they invite 40 plus people down to come and basically try out, show us what you got. So the first thing they do is they get you in there, and you got to cut a promo.
Oh.
So there was lots of people at this camp that already do wrestling. So they were cutting wrestling promos. And the people at the facility were like, hey guys, please stop cutting wrestling promos. We just want to know about you. And it was my turn, and I got up and I was like, all right, guys, I never wrestled, so I can't cut you a wrestling promo, but I'm going to cut you a real life promo. And they were just like, damn, like, holy shit. So I just started being passionate. And when I was talking about sports and my journey and some of the stuff that kind of happened to me along the way. And before I know it, the 2 minutes was up, and I look in the audience, and like, there's a few girls that are just tearing up because my passion came somewhere so deep that I was choking up when I was talking. Because I said, like, this is my time. Like, I have nothing to waste. I'm going to do this. I want to be part of this because I'm going to put my whole soul into it. And I killed it. I nailed the promo. I just nailed it. But the next day was wrestling. Like, you had to get into it's a lot more gymnastics than I thought. Like, I was not aware. So they put us through like these grueling, like 2-a-days. One day we had 3-a-day, 2-hour sessions where we would learn like rolling, taking bumps. So basically just standing there and literally going, ha, like down on the ring and coming up and, you know, pretending, sorry, I don't mean to say that, really reacting to what had happened. And we were learning to run the ropes. We learned tons and tons of really skillful things. And I was exhausted. Yeah. Like they wanted to kind of push you to see who would come back and who wouldn't. And there was, I think like by the second day, like there was a couple people that kind of fell off because they can't take that kind of stuff. And it wasn't that they were yelling at you. It's what they just were trying to push you. Yeah. Like they were just like, let's go, keep going. You guys got this. You're like, show me some personality. So I came in wearing these like big Canadian leaf socks. And like during one of the moves we were doing, I was singing the Canadian national anthem because I wanted them to know who I was.
Yeah.
And I just like kept showing my personality, and I really showed out. And they kind of, after those few days of the training camp, they kind of said, okay, well, we'll let everybody know. They're trying to keep everybody for the future. So I haven't, I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I'm so honored to even have been asked to go to try out for WWE. So, because I don't know a lot of people that have.
No, that's crazy. Were you a wrestling fan before? Like, did you watch the WWE and stuff growing up?
Yeah, for sure. Not like hardcore, like a lot of individuals, but I appreciate what it takes to be a WWE superstar. And I watched some of it. I was like, damn, these girls are really stepping up, because they used to have kind of the WWE girls back in the day, kind of, you know, in like the littler outfits, the lingerie. But now they have these badass girls like Bailey. Like she comes out with these like she wears pants, just a sports bra, and she like
she wears pants.
She just F you up, you know? Like she just comes in and she does her thing, and like, man, that's so cool. I just think it's so cool. Like being different as a girl athlete is just amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, did you ever jump off the top rope when you were out there?
Not the top.
Oh.
We had to jump up to it, and I could, but we weren't doing like backflips or anything off of it. They didn't teach us that part, but we were doing flips, like flip bumps and handstand flips and stuff like that, like on the ring surface. So maybe that was the next step up.
That sounds gnarly.
Are there springs in the ring, like on the mat?
It was kind of like a gymnastics floor.
Oh.
If you ever did gymnastics or
I've stood on that before. That's about all I can do.
It's like medium give.
Yeah. Well, I've seen dudes like slam on it, and I just wonder like what that actually feels like, you know?
It's not as bad as you think, but it still kind of stings.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, my adrenaline was like pumping every day. I didn't want to like let these guys know. Like I took a bump, my first bump, I was like, oh my God. And then I got back, like, just keep going. And by the end, I couldn't feel it by the end. So
that's awesome.
Are you still trying to pursue that at all? or you just kind of wait? You just kind of wait, see if
see what they say.
they reach out.
For now, it's just kind of wait because I got back from February, so I'm just kind of still waiting because I think they're really trying to figure out who they want, who they don't want, and who knows when you'll get a call. And if I don't, hey, like there's tons of other things I have the opportunity to pursue. So
you can at least say you did it. You at least tried out for it. That's badass.
You should try it for the Titans games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Pardon, which one?
The NBC Titan games. It's like The Rock's new show.
Oh my goodness. Yes, for sure. And just like Stone Cold's Broken Skull Ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So MOONEY actually got really far in the Stone Cold tryout. And then
I don't have the personality for it, apparently.
That's weird, dude.
But then he just tried out he's trying out for the Rocks challenge right now, but it's not too late. You should definitely do it.
Perfect. Send me a link.
For sure.
All right. You want to do some quick questions?
Yeah, we're gonna do some rapid fire, random ass questions.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Go, dude.
What are your thoughts on coconut? Do you enjoy coconut?
Oh yeah.
I love coconut
Yes.
water.
Yes. Team Coconut, let's go.
You gotta let her finish.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
I was gonna say I love coconut water. I'm on Team Coconut. But I don't think I could fill one of those coconut bras. I could not fill that.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't think I could either.
That's okay, as long as you eat them.
It's an ongoing debate between me and those two regarding coconut.
I love it.
You can't
I love
see me,
coconut.
it's tight.
It's like really good. And coconut oil for cooking, the best.
Yeah.
What
are your feelings on pineapple on pizza?
No.
Hey, dude.
Just no. Just no.
Hell yeah.
Damn it, Amanda.
See, I'll eat some pineapple on some pizza.
No.
But it's Canadian.
That's really gross. Yeah. That's
Which we
true.
found out recently.
That's like
I didn't even know that.
Anti-Canadian right there.
Yeah. That's like treason.
It
Crazy.
is.
Crazy.
Okay.
Favorite movie?
Oh, Back to the Future.
Ooh,
Wow.
It's so good.
good choice.
So good, you guys. It's such a life lesson. Like, it teaches you so much about life.
I feel like I need to watch it now.
Yeah.
You need to rewatch it and like just sink into it.
Yeah. On the same topic, who do you have like a favorite actor, like every time, or actress, like every time they come out with a movie, you have to go see it no matter what the storyline is?
No, just if the storyline is good. I don't have a specific. I really look up to athletes more than actresses and actors, which sounds pretty weird, but
Yeah.
I love like documentaries. I love documentaries, especially about training or athletics or something like that.
I feel like you would have a sick documentary.
So I just turned 30 this year, so I'm trying to make my own 30 for 30. So I've gathered a lot of I've gathered a lot of the materials like pictures and stuff. So I just got to film myself staring at a wall and like talking about like deep conversations about my life.
Then you got to get somebody with a dope voice to narrate it for you.
Honestly, yes. I'm just looking for that person.
We know a guy. Just wait to hear the intro to this podcast.
We got a guy that.
So we know that guy. So
What's your training music of choice? Like, what do you listen to when you train on a daily basis?
Honestly, you're gonna laugh, but I really like Drake.
Okay, some Drizzy. Okay.
Yes, he F's hard. Like he just goes. I don't know if I could say the F word, but he just does it. Like he just goes for it, and he pumps me up. Like he gets me fired up.
he's tight.
What's your favorite Drake song?
That new one that came out. Hold on, I'm gonna quote you the name.
He drops one like every week.
My playlist. That playlist.
The Migos Walk It Like I Talk It.
Walk it like I talk it.
It's at Nice for What.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Nice for What. That's like my jam right now is Nice for What. But there's that one song, because for Skeleton, we actually used to have like walkout songs.
That's dope.
And I used to have that one by Drake. It was like, who the F are y'all? Like, I love that like line. I would come out and just like put my hands up to that part. Like,
Theatrical. That's sick.
oh,
Awesome.
so good. So good.
What's something people may not know about you?
I like to paint. People probably don't know that because
Wow.
I never promote that, but I love painting. And I started getting into it as like rehab because when I hurt my knee, I couldn't go to the gym. So I started painting and I love it.
Do you have any paintings in your room right now?
I do, and they're really cute. One's of like my cat.
Are you like watercolors or oils or what?
I don't know. I just paint like
just paint?
like straight up paint. Like I don't know what even the technique is called. Like just paint. Like there's no
I just paint.
watercolor
Like
involved.
Microsoft Paint.
It's Microsoft Paint. I just dip the brush in.
That's funny. So, last question. What's your favorite podcast?
My favorite podcast?
Yeah.
Yours.
Hey, let's go.
That's crazy.
Weird.
Thank you so much.
What a coincidence.
That means the world. Seriously.
Duh.
What if you just said some other podcast?
Just like Joe
I thought
Rogan.
you said podcast.
Joe,
I was like,
Joe Rogan Experience.
You should ask her. What about who wins, LeBron or Michael Jordan,
oh my god.
1-on-1?
And why?
Oh, I don't know. MJ in his prime because I just love him. I don't know. That's a really good question.
That's like the
MJ.
question of all questions.
MJ? Okay, I've got a good response. MJ because he was in Space Jam.
Hey,
Oh.
Space Jam.
Well, LeBron's
good
in,
enough for me.
LeBron's in Space Jam too, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
What?
It's coming out.
When?
It's coming out.
Oh,
Yeah.
new Space Jam.
Oh, it is. LeBron's going to be in Space Jam too.
How
Sick.
dare he?
How
How
dare
So
do
your answer will be invalid.
Original
Probably next
Space Jam. Original.
You can't rename
OG Space Jam. Yeah, dude, Space Jam's the shit.
Well, are there any last words you want to say to the listeners?
Honestly, don't give up. Don't give in. This is your time. Do as much as you can and focus on what you need to do to be successful in this world.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
That just motivated me for 9 months straight. 9 months of motivation right there. Specifically.
Specifically 9 months of motivation.
Yep.
There we go.
It's true. Just don't. Like, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping. There's
yeah.
another 9 months of motivation right there, you
That's
guys.
18 months right
That's
there. for you.
18 months of
Years.
keep on
Years.
keeping on. Let's go, son.
Do you want to drop your social media and any websites you have for people to
Of
go find you?
course. You guys can find me on my website, amandabolic.com, because I kind of put my name, Amanda, and anabolic means to build up of muscle. So you got Amanda Bolic. You guys
That's
can
dope.
find me on Instagram at Amanda Ruller, Ruller with 2 L's. You guys can find me on Twitter at Amanda Bolic. You guys can Facebook me at just Amanda Ruller. So reach out. I love hearing from you.
And YouTube. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do have a
Yeah, you
YouTube
do have a
channel.
YouTube.
I forget about it. I'm so glad you said something because I forget about it. It's just youtube.com/Amanda Bolic. So
Okay.
Right on.
I feel like you'd have like the perfect YouTube personality.
I think so.
You do-
we just need
Do you
need the
vlog
fan.
that much?
Yeah.
You vlog that
I
much?
I vlog. I try to do it as much as I can. I need the people to come. I put it out there, so just keep putting it out there, and the people will come eventually.
Right.
Right on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I went to go. I just went to. You can't see me, but I went to go follow you on Twitter, and we already follow each other, so never mind.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Look at we're already best friends.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, this was awesome, Amanda. Thank you for being on. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me and considering me to be one of the people that you want to interview.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for giving me 18 months of motivation.
You're so welcome.
Maybe
You're
next
so-
time you'll actually be able to see him too.
Yeah, maybe next time I'll be in the frame. It'll be tight.
I can't see you guys. You guys have to put up the video thing.
Yeah.
All right.
That's okay. I know what you guys look like.
There we go.
Here's a peace sign. Peace out. Just kidding.
All right, Amanda. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
All right. Talk to you soon.
See
Bye.
ya.
She's the greatest. She's super awesome. Everything she was saying, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, am I trying to move to Canada or what?
She's done so much badass shit, and like
I know.
it makes me feel like I haven't done anything.
I feel like she should run for like
President.
I bet you she could run for
Or what does
like
Canada
mayor of Saskatchewan, prime minister.
Prime Minister.
I bet she could
Minister
run for
Ruller.
like mayor or whatever of Saskatchewan.
Of the world.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Dude, she's fucking cool. Like, she's cool as fuck, dude. Her outlook on everything, and like, she just like never wants to
Super
stop.
positive.
Oh, super.
We need more of that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Mooney for you. You do for sure.
You guys act like I'm super negative all the time.
Dude.
No, you're not. It's just like a joke,
Yeah.
and it's just
The
and
people
every
that-
once in a while
It's gotten better.
every once in a while you flare up and just make our joke a reality.
It's gotten better.
people are listening to this like, damn, he must be super negative all the time.
Well, I mean, all they have to do is watch your Instagram story.
It's gotten better. Dude.
My one last night was super positive. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. You fucking.
Anyways.
Go fucking LA
Anyways.
Fitness. God damn it.
Dude, that was annoying.
No, that was annoying.
You were annoyed too. Don't
Yeah.
even play like you weren't
Well,
annoyed.
dude,
the
I just
gym?
said I was.
Yeah, we were in Seattle.
I said I
and
was
we
pissed.
went to the gym, and the gym was closed, and so we had to walk to another gym.
And you
we
were-
were already on a short amount of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Like we only had like 2 hours.
Then we had to pay $15 to work out for fucking 30 minutes.
Yeah, the gym,
So we're just like quadruple supersetting everything.
and Jeremy
you know.
was pissed.
Yeah.
But I was pissed as well. But I just vocalized it on Instagram story, and Jeremy's like, "Oh, you're super negative."
It was.
Meanwhile, in the background, Jeremy's over there like, "Damn, this sucks."
Yeah. Yeah. Behind the scenes, I was like, fuck this.
All right. Anyway, this was awesome. She's badass.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't already following her, go check her out because she's pretty badass.
Yeah.
And it'd be awesome if
She's a very quality person to follow.
Yep.
yeah. If you're
You
gonna
can-
follow somebody, follow her.
Yeah, you can pull a lot from
Yeah.
her content and everything. So she's dope.
And she does cool
Oh, shit.
exercises. I've
Yeah.
stolen a few of her exercises.
Yeah, we've tried doing her shit. It's actually fun. It's actually
Yeah.
a really good workout. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, this is the We Are Gunsmith podcast. It's your boy James Mooney.
It's Rob Tremonti.
Jeremy knew.
Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Peace.
Peace.